Nvidia's stock has increased by roughly 4%. Jim, what updates have you learned from your numerous conversations, both on and off air, with many of the individuals who have attended Dream for us this week, and who you have seen in the San Francisco area? I believe we can hear what Lisa Su from AMD has to say. Look, Nvidia is a saleable lead, but there's room for two because there's so much business, and the big joke here is that some people actually have Blackwell. It will be either Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg because, as you may recall from last week, Jensen Huang's had just become very emotional about who gets his chips. David, I've never seen anything like this. It seems like they're scalping him. You understand what I mean? Yes, that's unfortunate because he has dealt with scalping in the past, but most people just assume Jensen is artificial intelligence. We're waiting for others to kind of join his oar. But nobody has that stock collapsed last night. It collapsed, it went from 15 to 13, as if it was some sort of small cap margarine, margarine a knife through margarine. Oh yeah, look at that, but now it's higher and obviously we've got an S&P Carl. That's a new record right on the S&P, yeah. This is an all-time high. And I think probably for the Dow as well, right about 42. The one to watch is Nvidia AI that was up 3.5 now, it's up 5 there, was nothing wrong with Nvidia. But except for the fact that the long night has been out for it, because people think that Jensen can't possibly maintain the strength so we're trying and I have my eye on Nvidia. It's not yet made a higher high than the prior peaks, so it's definitely still in this sideways mode, so I guess I'm going to reserve judgment as to whether this is a change in character of this market that's been moving away from tech until we get a few more days of follow-through. I will say this, I think that if you take a look at the AI complex once again, people keep thinking, when will Nvidia move? When will Nvidia move? Is Nvidia's chart bad yesterday? Jim, I was asked if I thought Nvidia's chart was bad. How does the chart tell what you think? Jim replied, I don't know. I think the company's doing a really good job. Russell Year's 26.4% annual gain was the biggest gain in several years. Denny said yesterday that small caps weren't performing as well as mega caps argue. Perhaps this rate path won't be as dovish as some people think or as the bond market thinks. Ed is entirely correct in what he says. What I believe is that distinct things are happening right now with some of the magazines and not the others. I think the Tesla is accelerating again. In my opinion, Amazon, I think the Apple launch is going to be very, very effective. Tim Cook is really good this morning. I'd always love the effective people when they take selfies with them and he talks with them. But actually it's a reminder that the company is absolutely loved. If you go through the FedEx lines, you'll see that e-commerce is stronger than they thought stronger, that reads very well for Amazon. Remember, they're not clients but Amazon, that is just a one-for-one tell, and I really like it. David best for last, okay. So what do you got, David? Moo, I don't want a human anymore. I want a wah. Why is that, Jim? They don't have any emotion. They don't want to talk to me. They don't ask how I'm doing. They just drive. They don't hit anything. They don't seem tired at all. They don't ask you about Nvidia. They don't put on the Eagles either. So you just sit there and think, not I. And you know what, other than if I jumped into the trunk, and in which they'll find you, by the way. They have cameras all over the place. I think it's such a more enjoyable, safe experience. I'm all in Womo, which makes me not want to hate Google as much. Interesting. Okay, so if you had an opportunity to order an Uber without a driver, in what was it, the two cities there in Austin, and what was the other city at Atlanta, you would do so, oh, without a doubt. No, I'm tired of humans. I want an AI agents like Salesforce gives me because they're really polite. And they treat me like a human, and Weo treated me like a human. I want to be treated like a human again. The only thing you can treat me like a human is artificial intelligence bots. They treat you with respect, David, the way it was when we were growing up. Yeah, remember those days? The bots are raised by really good moms and dads that were very thoughtful and know about manners well. Don't worry, you're your hope for getting rid of humans. It may very well be embraced by AI as well. So who knows, we could still play a critical part in the infrastructure. We can. What would that be? We could little pods where we provide energy. No, but they may have to bring us coffee in the morning. A lot of people are really talking about the humanoid robots and what that's going to mean. No, they're not just you. You're the only person who talks about them. Well, no, they're really important, because I need friends. I get up really early, there's no one to talk to. My wife tells me to shut up. Can you imagine? Go downstairs, and there's a robot who says, "Have you seen Boeing today?" I'm like, "Boeing so bad, I know. What are they going to do?" I think the guy made like 30, and then the guy was like, "Do you know how much Dono got?" Like, I know. Can you believe it? I mean, 100 mil. That's what I want. I want a robot who gets me at 3 o'clock am. Okay. So it's not like you can go downstairs and listen to B and 7 or something. How about a robot that can also help you get in shape and prepare you for the day? I have this guy Jim, who is really amazing, but yeah, I mean a robot. Other people can have robots. Don't forget that John Wong, whose name I haven't mentioned in the show. According to Jansen, they will appear human. So David could enter and be told to dress in a white shirt without a tie and a flammable jacket. They could then discuss how their friends are telling them that Jeff is doing well. But at the moment, they are unable to come up with any applications for the enterprise that would particularly excite anyone. However, things could change very quickly. David, you know you're always supposed to say health when that happens, but health is going to help us with drug development, which is something we can't do right now because it takes a long time and isn't very embracing. And the call centers, as you mentioned, are changing those right away. So you have to say you always remember us when you call. I want to talk to a human now that the day is over. That's definitely Jim. However, when it comes to AI, Nvidia is the leader. My next assumption is that Nvidia is still a good buy, even at this price. Let's bring Ivana Delisa, the founder of Spear Invest, in to argue why I should still like Nvidia at these prices. Taylor, thanks for having me. We believe that a significant amount of money will be spent upgrading our current data centers to this accelerated computing technology, because we are only at the beginning of a major cycle of data infrastructure upgrades. Since we have only really seen the introduction of the first generation of chips thus far, we anticipate that there will be significant improvements from generation to generation. As a result, when the black chip is introduced later this year and next year, demand will increase significantly, which will significantly boost earnings estimates. It's interesting that another analyst, Dan Ies at Wedbush, suggests considering Nvidia because it's like 900 PM at a PM.